Hello guys, this is Nate. Welcome to my channel. Today's review is Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 1, Episode 10, No Small Parts, the season finale of Season 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks. We have our usual cast of Lower Deckers, Brad Boimler, Divana Tendi, Beckett Mariner, and Sam Rutherford. We have our bombastic cast of secondary characters and the command crew: Carol Freeman, Jack Ransom, Shax, and T'Ana. Today's summary, written by yours truly: Mariner's secret is out, thanks to Boimler, so she plans a creative revenge. Meanwhile, Tendi has a new and unique crewman that she is helping to integrate into the Cerritos family. We open on the familiar world of Beta 3. For those of you who watched the original series, you'll recognize the name and the planet. We also see, during the little briefing between Captain and Commander Ransom, the animated Captain Kirk and Spock. The denizens of Beta 3 have gone back to worshipping the supercomputer Landru, something Kirk stopped them from doing years ago. And to quote another sci-fi series, all this has happened before, and all this will happen again. Freeman saves the day and returns to the ship, but cannot leave because two crewmen are still unaccounted for. On the planet, we see Mariner handing out art supplies to kids when Boimler arrives, much to her chagrin. She expects a dressing down, and frankly, so do we, only for him to join in. And we're all shocked. Shocked, I say! Boims, trying to be a rebel, taking off his jacket, and we see his little noodle arms. His comm badge chirps as the ship and Ransom try to contact him, but cannot because he's taken his jacket off and hasn't put his comm badge on his vest. Why does it broadcast the conversation if it hasn't been activated? I'm thinking this is a security measure because it's happened too many times on the Enterprise, probably. Mariner asks why he's really there, and Boimler reveals he knows the truth. And he is telling everyone on the bridge at the same time. He knows that her mum is the captain and her dad is an admiral. He winds her up a bit about being the princess of Starfleet, gives her a little kissy face, the usual friendly ribbing, and pretty mild too, I have to say, compared to some of Mariner's ribbing we've seen so far in the series. As she says, she didn't want people to know. They are beamed to the bridge, and poor Boims is soiling himself. Carol Freeman is beyond angry. Poor Boims. After the titles, we return in the Carl system and the USS Solvang. And how, in God's name, has Dayton still got a command? Anyone knows that she's going to have someone in high places that I like Dayton. You know what I mean? There's no way that incompetent should have another command. Another ship warps in. A mishmash of parts from dozens of ships. It attacks without warning, overwhelming the Solvang, leaving it lost with all hands. Dayton, you raging incompetent. Back with the Cerritos, we are with Tendi in the shuttle bay. She's the new liaison and she is super stoked. Rutherford is playing with his implant when Tendi grabs his arm and causes him to rip off a panel and accidentally reveal a brand new button. And I'm thinking, shouldn't he know it is his implant? Shouldn't he have a basic schematic? A group of officers disembark from a shuttle, the last of whom is an exocomp, a familiar little mech from TNG for the fans. She's painted science blue and is just as hyped as Tendi, maybe a little too hyped. Freeman and Mariner are having a talk after Boimler's little revelation in her ready room. The two did not want their relationship disclosed. Mariner, because she wanted to work under the radar, can't blame her there. We all saw what happened with Wesley. And Freeman not wanted to be associated with the most rebellious officer in Starfleet. Both very selfish reasons. Mariner hopes they can still work things out. After all, Wesley worked well with his mum. Damn it, Ransom. Why'd you have to be a dick now? Only for Ransom to try and kiss Mariner's ass, which gets on both of their nerves. Wonderful. Mariner leaves annoyed, then gets even more annoyed as people are whispering behind her back. Others are bold enough to try and use her to get to the captain. Kiss asses and simps out the woodwork. We cut to the bridge as they receive a partial distress call from the Solvang. And by the looks of everyone on the bridge, if everyone knows she's a bad officer, why give her a command at all? Re-echelon her, don't give her a new command. I can see why they had issues. They probably give her a really competent second officer to make sure everything was running smoothly, because there's no way this twit should have had a command. Ransom name drops the Titan as the other ship in the region, Riker's ship, as they head off to help. And that's not foreshadowing at all. Mariner is getting annoyed that people are bugging her. Even my boy Billups. She complains that she'll never get away with anything now she's being watched so closely. Oh, not you too, Boims. Even Boimler tries to get her to sign his promotion recommendation for the Sacramento. But Mariner has a plan, and knowing her, it is a cunning plan. A plan so cunning, it could teach cunning at Oxford University. She rolls down her sleeves. My God. Straightens her hair and heads off just as Shax arrives with his suck-up attempt. Disappointed in you, Shax. We cut to Tendi and Peanut Hamper, the exocomp, a name that Tendi loves. Tendi still being the lovable pup that she is, as they skip down the hall. Well, one's skipping, the other one's kind of floating along. Our dynamic duo are in Ransom's office quarters. So, is it his office or is it his quarters? That'd be really weird to have your office in your bedroom, wouldn't it? And he's topless again. I think he's got the same disease Kirk's got. Ransom is reading over the recommendations for the Sacramento promotion. Why he's topless and working out with them is unclear at this time. He comments on Boim's freaky, super spotless record, how white is the whitest of white bread, but Mariner is the captain's daughter, so he has a lot to consider. He dismisses them so he can work out and think, getting that blood pumping, and now we know why he's topless. Our boy Rutherford is tinkering on his hot rod when Tendi and Peanut Hamper arrive. What is the end game with that shuttle? Does anyone know? Tendi realizes that Peanut Hamper can't do some of the basic jobs because of her design, but Rutherford gives her a little pep talk, and Rutherford is being the best friend and the friend she needs. We cut to sickbay as Peanut Hamper shows her skills in medical by using techniques that even T'Ana doesn't know. Tendi is very pleased that Peanut Hamper is doing so well. Mariner's plan is going well, and she is acting like the perfect drone from the Academy, and it is driving Boimler mad. And that he has only himself to blame. She is right. it wasn't accidental. How's he supposed to know that his comm badge was on? So it isn't really his fault. And the little discussion they have here about it, I think, is a bit unfair on her part. The Cerritos drops out of warp into the Solvang's debris field. Ransom, being actually competent here, immediately orders red alert. Good man, he's living up to those pips. The sensors detect no life forms. The loss of the Solvang is total. Maybe a competent captain could have helped the crew survive. We don't know. And out of nowhere, the Cerritos is ambushed by mechanical arms that attack and begin to carve the ship up, reminiscent of the Borg. The captain orders evasive maneuvers and sends a distress call. And now I wonder who would be receiving that. Nothing is working as the Cerritos loses power adrift. After the initial attack, the crew needs to regroup. They get contacted by the ship, and it's the Packleds. The dimwits believe that they are fighting the Enterprise. Packleds are dumb as hell. How they even got off their homeworld, I will never know. They are attacking ships and salvaging ships to increase their own power. A plan very far out of their league, and I know they've tried it before in TNG, but let's be honest here. That probably wasn't their idea either. As they are brought in close, they scramble for a plan, but settle on making a virus and press Rutherford, our boy, into making it. Mariner continues to be an out-of-the-box thinker. Rutherford runs to the holodeck and brings out the big guns, Badgie, to help him. After taking off the safeties, Badgie helps. But as an act of rebellion, because of the whole kind of murdered him thing, it has to be installed manually on board the other ship. Oh, and that is not a trap at all. The Packleds start to board, cutting off the armory. Didn't the TNG crew carry phaser ones in their uniforms? I'm pretty sure in the first episode we see a ensign pop out one of those little Type 1 phasers, the little tiny pocket ones, from inside his uniform. So Mariner resorts to breaking open the contraband stashes, pulling out lots and lots of melee weapons, and the fight is on. The crew get to defending the ship old school. During the battle, Boymes confesses that he wasn't angry with her for stealing his chance of promotion. Heartfelt confession time. He knew that she would have got it, and he would have missed her. Oh, friendship love moment. It's good to have them back together again. As the battle rages on, a Packled hits Carol, injuring her badly, so they rush her to the sickbay. She has lost a lot of blood. Rutherford arrives at the sickbay via the Jeffries tubes as the bridge team arrive. And good timing on part for Rutherford. Good man. He tells the now fully assembled crew that his virus needs to be input manually, and Peanut Hamper is the only one small enough to do it. She nopes out, practically giving them the finger, beaming into open space. Dick move. So Rutherford decides to take one for the team. He uploads the virus into his implant. Sounds dangerous to me, but I'm paranoid. And the crew of the Cerrito Strong gets him to their hot rod shuttle, with Shax acting as his point guard. The Bear Pack duo blast their way onto the Pack-led ship and get to a console, and it is so cool. Reminds me a bit of Babylon 5. As Shax holds the position while Rutherford uploads the virus. It's going well. Perhaps too well. Badgie, the bastard, then it steps into the fore with Rutherford helping the Packleds to try and kill him in revenge for his own murder. I knew it. But don't worry. We have a hero. Shax, after listening to the bastard, rips Rutherford's implant off his head, and you can see his frickin' brain. That is brain meat right there, and it is pulsing. Okay, knocking him out. Not surprised. Pain levels top tier. S brand done. KO. He tosses Rutherford onto the shuttle, saving him. Shax is awesome. The Pac-led ship detonates with our boy Shark on board. And all we can say, rest in peace, Big Bear. May you choke Cardassians in the afterlife forever. Mariner and Boimler spot the shuttle amidst the debris. Good looking out there, guys. With the last of the Pac-leds neutralized, Freeman orders the ship to get out of the area as soon as engine power is restored. The big chair looks good on Mariner, I have to say. But 3 more Pac-led ships arrive, grabbing the Cerritos with their mechanical arms and continuing the attack that the others started. Oh no! How are they going to get out of this mess? And then the Titan arrives as the Cerritos begins to buckle. Nice save, Riker. Will contacts the ship, telling Mariner that they are now even. That's a story I'd like to hear. She drops it that Riker is one of her main suppliers for some of her less than legal contraband, something that Deanna wants to hear about too. Uh-oh. Sounds like someone's going to be sleeping on the sofa. Riker cuts transmission before he gets in trouble with his wife, and from the look she's giving him, he is going to be telling her or sleeping in the ready room. The Titan makes easy work of the Pac-leds. We see the difference between a frontline ship and a second-line ship here as the Titan massacres the Pac-led ships almost with contemptuous ease. Mother and daughter have a heart-to-heart after Shax's funeral and agree to a working relationship. At least that's something good to come out of this. We learn that Boimler has been promoted to Lieutenant Junior grade on the Titan, and we close out with Mariner sending Boim's messages as the Titan warps away. Excellent. Not bad for series finale, I have to say. I give this episode 3 stars. Solid episode. Really met my expectations here. Lovely seeing Riker back. Nice to see Beta 3 again. I always wondered what happened to some of those TOS worlds when Kirk leaves, how they get on afterwards. So that was nice to see. A really solid episode. Excellent work, guys. Excellent. If you made it this far, I want to thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe to help me with that YouTube algorithm. I had to take some time off last week because of major internet issues. I've now got a new modem in there, so hopefully, fingers crossed, things go well. Okay. I will be putting up the overall review for the whole season, hopefully next week if everything goes as planned. But until then, I will catch you guys somewhere down that road. Have a good one, guys.